Today's game is being brought to you by Dodge Ram. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. And by Texas A&M University's Wolfman Foundation. The lights are out right now here at Reed Arena, but they're about to turn on. They have the starting lineups. The Aggies taking on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Bill Jones and Jim Haller, and a near capacity crowd. It might be a capacity crowd here at Reed Arena for this one. What a game we expect in. What an atmosphere here at Reed Arena. We check out the starting lineups for head coach Bob Knight. Kasib Powell leading the way, along with Andre Emmett, the two leading scorers for the Red Raiders. Robert Tomaszek is the center, and the man in the middle, Mikey Marshall out of Tulia, Texas, gets the start at guard, and Will Chavis, the point guard for Coach Knight against the Aggies. Both teams 2 and 3 in the conference. Tomas Rest, Antoine Wright, Keith Bean, the front line for Melvin Watkins, Bernard King, and Brad in the backcourt. And let's say hello to Candace Kruger, part of our team tonight. Candace?
Hi, guys. Good to see you. You mentioned the crowd. Let me just say tonight's game is history in the making for Texas A&M basketball. Never before have they seen a sellout crowd. Tonight at Reed Arena, it is sold out. The arena seats 12,500. They sold all of those tickets. The officials have told me that if the fire marshal will allow them, they're going to add a few more seats, standing room. So we could have a standing room only situation here tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Candace will bring a lot of the color and the flavor of Reed Arena here, and the spirit of Aggie Land is alive and well, to say the least. Texas Tech at 12-4 on the season. Texas A&M is 10-6. This is a key game, as Jim Haller talked about moments ago, as Melvin Watkins is trying to get the Aggies back to the 500 mark in conference play, as is Bob Knight for Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is coming off of a nice win earlier this week over Colorado. Texas A&M played nationally ranked Oklahoma, a whale of a game up in Norman. Both ball clubs, after observing their practices earlier today, are primed and ready to go. A lot of emotion here this afternoon for many, many reasons.
Bob Knight and the Red Raiders, 799 career wins for the legendary coach. Texas A&M, Melvin Watkins says he's looking for his 800th win, too. It's just a little ways down the road for him. Red Raiders win the tip.
Well, I'm still looking for 800, too.
And down with the rebound comes big Keith Bean for Texas A&M, and the Aggies in control on offense with Bradley Jackson, the point guard. Antoine Wright in the lane.
Well, one of the most versatile players in the conference, that freshman right there, a strong candidate for freshman of the year. He's in the top 15 in the league in 6 different statistical categories.
Kasib Powell works the right side to Andre Emmett. Mikey Marshall, the Tomaszek. And the Aggies trying to control the boards. They got the first 2.
Very surprising attempt right there, Bill. Tomaszek only has 1 3 on the entire season, so a surprise effort right there. Both ball clubs starting out in aggressive half-court man-to-man.
Jackson working the right side, inside to Bean. Shut Oklahoma in the Aggies' last game in Norman earlier this week. And it's Kasib Powell the other way to Emmett. And Bean with another rebound.
Texas Tech had the theft off the turnover by the Aggies, couldn't finish on the other end. Very rare for Andre Emmett to not take advantage of an opportunity like that.
There's Bernard King working the right side, trying to draw the foul. Dish off to Tomas Rest, who hits.
Tomas Rest has been on fire lately, hitting 55% of his three-point attempts in league play. That was a 2-pointer almost at the tray line.
Kasib Powell over to Emmett on the left wing, and he leaves it short.
Texas Tech is shooting the ball much quicker than we usually see them, not being quite as patient.
There's the freshman leaving it short as he goes to the hoop, and Emmett comes the other way, down court.
Well, the crowd obviously thought he had a little walk right there.
And now Marshall from the baseline.
Well, that's got to give that young man confidence. He's not played a lot of minutes this year. Known primarily as a good defender, not a good offensive player, but the nice soft left hand right there.
Just averaging 2.5 points a game. Now the freshman right to Bean way up high. from three-point land. Wright is off target, and Emmett has the board.
Nice job by the Red Raiders on the defensive boards. No white shirts close to getting that offensive carom.
Emmett back out top to Marshall. Tomaszek will try again. This time he connects.
Keith Bean will draw closer to him from now on. As you could see right there, gave him about 2-foot cushion to get the outside shot. You think of Tomaszek as a power player, even from the perimeter today.
Bean to the corner to Jackson and inside to Bean. Big guy works on Tomaszek and muscles it in.
Nice entry pass. The Aggies had the side cleared for the big senior from the state of California. Dropped that left leg, went strong.
Now Davis, who had 18 points against Colorado on Wednesday night in Lubbock.
They need his three-point shooting here today, Bill.
That's what he was able to do against the Buffaloes, and now Howell gets the rebound. Offensive board for the Red Raiders. High off the glass, no good, and Tomaszek loses it out of bounds.
Nice anticipation by the big youngster from Poland right there. Crashed the offensive glass hard as Coach Bob Knight looks on.
Coach Bob Knight matched up against Melvin Watkins. Knight in his second year, of course, with the Red Raiders, and Watkins, year number 5 with Texas A&M. A pretty nice start to the season for the Aggies with non-conference wins over LSU and Tennessee.
Well, they've got a good road victory already in the Big 12, winning at Nebraska and then beating Kansas State at home. Nice penetration by Bradley Jackson. This is just his 5th start of the year, doing a terrific job so far this afternoon.
And an 8-4 cushion for the Aggies early. Chavis from three-point land, no good. Rebound Aggies, Russ has it. Bean can't get it to fall.
Good hands by the big fella right there. Good hustle.
And a whistle and a foul will be called on Bean.
We knew it was going to be rough, partners. Starting out that way quickly.
Bob Knight not liking what he's seeing early. Melvin Watkins likes what he's seeing so far. Aggies leader will be back after these messages from your local station.
Kevin, I want you to move to Philadelphia and learn everything about making an authentic Philly cheesesteak.
I'll do my best, sir.
Kevin!
Yo, Jackie! How's it hanging, bro? I soaked up Billy like a sponge.
My new Philly cheesesteak is the real deal. Marinated sliced steak smothered with grilled onions and melting cheese on a hearth-baked steak roll. It's really authentic.
How you doing?
Maybe a little too authentic.
Next time, Street Smarts is getting shut up.
If Judge Judy just gave me a gag order, what exactly is she asking me to do?
She's asking you to throw up what you just drank last night.
Getting walled up.
What country is home to the Great Wall of China?
Russia?
And getting tied up.
What is this type of tie typically called?
A bow tie.
You know where I got this? I got this from my days as an exotic male dancer.
Next, Street Smart.
Monday at 4:30 on KNWS.
Spectacular rescues. When they started to lift him out of the mud, he started to slip out of the sling. Dangerous predicament.
I had very serious concerns that the dog wasn't going to make it.
Saving helpless animals.
The heart is not contracting like it should.
I'm Alex Payne. Join me each week right here for Animal Rescue.
Sundays at 4:30 on KNWS.
Aggies over the Red Raiders, 8-4 early on in this one. Robert Tomaszek for Texas Tech, Jim, as the Red Raiders just 2 for 9 in the early going.
Well, and 3 of those field goal attempts have been by Robert Tomaszek, the big youngster from Poland, Eastern Wyoming junior college transfer this year for the Red Raiders. He's got a nice touch, but he's only attempted 2 3-point field goals all year, opened the game for the Raiders today with a 3-point attempt. Looks like Texas A&M has changed defenses coming out of the timeout. Let's watch and see. That is a normal characteristic for Melvin Watkins Ball Club.
They will change defenses. Davis is able to hit from three-point land this time.
Nice job by the little guy to balance up, positioned himself well for that pass. spotting up is a big part of this game, being in the right place at the right time.
Davis was 4 for 7 from three-point land against Colorado. Now the Aggies up by just 1.
Kevin Turner in the ball game for Texas A&M right now. Number 22 is a streak shooter. Good hustle inside by Ress, following up on the attempt by Keith Bean. Good double down right there by Texas Tech, but Tomas Ress, known as the Italian Stallion around the Aggie campus. He is a much improved player as the season has progressed.
And a big guy, 7 foot tall. The junior, who is a native of Italy, but plays high school basketball in South Florida.
We've got several foreigners on these two ball clubs, 2 on the floor right now. Yes, from Italy.
And Butterfoot's into the game now for the Aggies as Ress is able to connect to make it a 9-7 game.
Youngster come on the floor for Texas A&M right now. Jesse King had 10 in their last outing. They think he's coming along. He's been injury plagued a large part of this season. 6'7" from Detroit, Michigan.
Davis again, off target with that one, way off target. And he will hear it. It can give a coach a headache.
Well, this is a crazy game, partner. Possession before last. Chavis balances up, hits nothing but net. Right then, same exact shot, hits nothing but air.
And from outside, there you go. Kevin Turner.
Absolutely, right there. He came in against Oklahoma State in the conference opener, hit 4 straight threes in the first half of action when the Aggies actually took an 11-point lead against the conference's undefeated Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Emmett drives, can't get it to fall. Rest with a rebound, and the Aggies the other way. And here come the Red Raiders back to Sid Powell.
And that was nice team defense by Texas Tech, and Bernard King started his penetration.
Once again, Tech remains cold. Emmett wide open and can't get the roll. Tip no good, and again. And Powell has it inside. Now Emmett with it. Chavis off the mark one more time.
Well, Bill, Texas A&M obviously is going to have to do a better job on the backboards. Texas Tech, not known as a good rebounding team. In fact, they're in the latter portion of the league's rebounding statistics.
First 2 of the evening from Bernard King.
Now needs 39 to become the all-time leading scorer in the history of the Big 12.
Offensive foul on Kasib Powell.
Nice team defense by the Aggies, rotating on the penetration by Kasib Powell. Versatile senior for Texas Tech, junior college transfer.
Well, the Red Raiders find themselves in a situation that is similar to what they found at home at the United Spirit Arena in Lubbock against Colorado on Wednesday night. They fell behind 8-2, then went on a 23-2 run. What Bob Knight calls their best stretch in the conference season so far. They're down 14-7 here.
Nice patience by the Aggies. Side is cleared now for King and Antoine Wright to play a little 2-on-2.
Mikey Marshall on King. Way outside. Yes!
Well, that was in the defensive game plan for Texas Tech. I heard them go over it today. Slide through on the screens. They went behind that time, and Bernard King burned them.
17-7. And a foul on the floor, Bean. That's his second. Tomas Ress checks back in.
As Bernard King We've got his 5th point of this game. Remind our viewers that he is actually tied in lead games only for the leading scorer in the conference. Andre Emmett of Tech leads the scoring in overall games throughout the season.
And Bernard King, the all-time leading scorer in A&M history. He's got the rebound after another miss by the Red Raiders. King trying to go the distance. And now the Red Raiders will try. Emmett finishes it.
Well, smart decision by Jesse King right there not to get the foul. Texas A&M, now listen to this closely, they lead the league in turnovers. Texas Tech leads the league in forcing turnovers, so the Aggies have to take care of the basketball very well here today.
That's got to be one of the keys for A&M.
Last possession was certainly not a good one by the Aggies.
Turner leads it short. Tomacek the rebound. Here come the Red Raiders. And on the floor, Ress will get the call this time. Tomas Ress
trying to pick up a second consecutive charging call on Kasib Powell. Let's take a look. 6'7" senior trying to go hard to the bucket. Ress a half a step slow right there, trying to cut off the baseline for the Aggies.
Well, Bob Knight's Red Raiders fell behind by 10. The lead is 8 for the Aggies right now here at Reed Arena.
In Texas, bigger really is better. And now there's a bigger and better reason to drive a Dodge truck. Dodge Truck Month, where you'll find Texas-size savings with low financing offers. Or you can get a generous cash allowance on Motor Trend's 2003 Truck of the Year. Plus, grab Dodge's 770 Powertrain Limited Warranty. Dodge Truck Month, only in a place called Truckville, your Texas Dodge dealer.
Before tip-off tonight, Texas A&M recognized the voice of the Red Raiders, A&M Texas Tech basketball announcer Jack Dale. Now, Jack has been with the Red Raiders for more than 50 years. Out of the 106 meetings of Texas Tech and Texas A&M, he has announced 104 of those games. You can see former A&M basketball coach Shelby Metcalf presenting Jack with a game ball that has been autographed by the A&M basketball team, A&M basketball staff, and many people here at A&M. We certainly wish Jack the best, and we will certainly miss him. And we'll go back to Bill.
All right, Candace, one of the great guys in sports, one of the great guys in broadcasting, Jack Dale.
I'll second that motion, and also we'll have a chance, we hope, to see Shelby Metcalf later, but he is the all-time winningest coach in the history of Southwest Conference basketball.
Well, Tech wasn't able to see anything on the inbound, so they call a quick timeout here. You know, Jack Dale, I did the research on it. He started in 1952 calling Texas Tech basketball games. He has seen 777 Texas Tech basketball victories. I don't think he's going to reach the 800 club because he is retiring at the end of the season.
That is just amazing. Of course, he's called ball games for many outstanding coaches at Texas Tech. Of course, one of those here today at the arena, the current Texas Tech athletic director, Gerald Myers, here. Had a nice visit with him earlier today at their practice. But there's Jack Dale, one of the nice guys. I guess he and Frank Phelan, that did the games at Baylor for so many years, are the real veterans in state of Texas sports announcing for the Big 12 conference schools today.
Polk Robinson was the head coach of the Red Raiders when Jack Dale first started calling games in 1952. Another coaching legend in Lubbock. Now 90 years old. New faces in the lineup for the Red Raiders.
Now that's a good, this right here is a good call by Bill Kennedy, the official. Called it on Tomas Ress, Texas Tech, who moved so well without the basketball. They were trying to cut into the paint, and Tomas Ress reached out and tried to cut him off with legs and feet.
Nick Valdez triggers the inbound way up top. Valdez with the ball now. and a whistle.
Did they call a charge right there?
Looked like he was on Valdez. He dished off out of bounds. Valdez.
Now let's give credit. I want to mention something right here. I watched Texas A&M practice today, and their assistant coach, Tom Billiter, went over this many times. He said, when Valdez gets the ball and goes to the hoop, you can draw the charge. Good scouting job by Texas A&M and assistant Tom Billiter.
Leandro Garcia Morales penetrates. Puts it up no good. Fight for the rebound. Out of bounds. Tech ball.
That was nice penetration, but a very poor finish. He actually had an opening. Looked like he rushed the shot as he got to the glass. Leandro Garcia Morales, a transfer from Miami-Dade Community College. Well, Bill, these officials are starting to call it very close right now. They know this is a good chance of being a very physical ball game, physical styles of play. Going to whistle every time up and down the court now for about 5 straight trips.
Jesse King that time. Storozinski on the right side, back out top.
Look at that illegal.
Storozinski, another one of the Polish connection for the Red Raiders. Just inside the arc, rebound Aggies.
Texas Tech is really pulling their big men out of the paint to spread the Aggie defense, taking the outside shot.
Bernard King back out top to Garcia Morales.
Now this is one of the Aggies' favorite sets right here when Canine goes to the high post. Coach Knight wanted his off guard to drop in front of him.
Got the finish by Jesse King.
Now how about that pass by Bernard King, number 3 in the Big 12 in assists at 6.1 per game, showing his versatility. That's why the pros like him. 3 NBA scouts here today. Melvin Watkins looking on. Got scouts from the New Orleans Hornets, the Houston Rockets, and the Boston Celtics.
Jesse King again called for a foul. He's got 2 now. Aggies racking up some fouls on the front line. There was the finish by King at the offensive end. Valdez.
Coach Knight says Valdez has a great feel for the game, said he probably understands his philosophy as well or better than any Texas Tech player. Quite a compliment. That's Valdez with the ball right now. A transfer from junior college ranks in Colorado. How about all these away from the ball fouls?
Yet another one. This one goes against Knight's team. Aggies with a 10-point cushion. Reached the 9-minute mark here in the first half. On the baseline right. Nice move, got the roll.
What a terrific freshman he is. Most publications had him picked as the preseason freshman of the year in the Big 12 Conference, certainly making a strong case for himself so far in conference action.
Emmett, too long. Wright has the rebound. It's a 12-point lead, and the Aggies trying to tack on some more.
This record basketball crowd at Texas A&M today has certainly seemed to inspire the Aggie ball club.
Aggies spread it out. King at the high post. Top of the key, now over left side. With it is Jesse King. Turnaround jumper, yes. The lead is 14.
Nice individual play and good execution by the Aggie offense.
And a steal by Garcia Morales. 2-on-1 behind the back. Somehow it gets to Bernard King, and he finishes.
Just listen to the crowd, partner. That tells it all right there. The Aggies on a big-time roll. Bernard King snaking between the... Oh, my goodness. Nothing going right for the Red Raiders right now.
Going the other way.
Nice team defense right there by the Aggies, rotating to draw their 3rd charging foul of the game.
Aggies lead it by 16. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
A better prepared graduate is a well-rounded person, a person who can go the extra mile and do what's important for the company.
The ability to change with the company and continue to learn and grow with businesses.
They're willing to invest themselves.
For an individual to succeed, they need a solid educational background and drive and motivation.
Focus, get the job done,
and advance as the company grows and changes.
The willingness to work hard.
Think on their feet.
ITT Tech, from what I've found, provides a very good, stable foundation.
Teaching you how to learn and how to adapt to the ever-changing environment.
To be successful in the workplace as well as in society.
And that tool set is going to stay with you for the rest of your life.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web. Now you can take advantage of our 3-day-a-week class schedule, which may better fit your busy lifestyle. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH today.
Tune in as the Houston Rockets blast off and battle C-Web and the Sacramento Kings from Compaq Center. Sunday at 3 right here on 51 KNWS.
Joe Millionaire breaks the silence about Sarah's S&M secrets. Plus, wedding bells for the next American Pie, next Access Hollywood.
Monday at 7 on 51 KNWS.
5'9", they're loving it in Aggie land, Jim Haller, and I think Shelby Metcalf loves it too.
Oh, I'm the happiest I've ever seen Shelby in my life. His new grandbabies, his daughter Shelly right there to his left, Matt and Katie, he said they're twins. They're 9 months old. He said that is the joy of his life. His wife Janice right there to their right. They've been good friends for a long time, but I'll assure you, he said no victory ever meant as much as these grandkids have to him. So glad we could get them on. Sure, it's always great to see Shelby Metcalf.
The two biggest victories of all right there. Shelby Metcalf for 27 years, the head coach of the Aggies. He racked up 438 wins, 6 conference titles during his time here. Aggies leading it 25-9, forcing Knight to call a timeout. Garcia Morales. Tech is ice cold, while the Aggies are filling it up. Not this time, though.
Before that attempt, the Aggies were at 68% with 7 minutes to go in the first half. That'll usually get you a good lead on your home court.
Especially when the other team's shooting 20%. They still can't get it to fall.
Well, and the Aggies had a breakdown. They came out of that timeout in a zone. Never want to leave that man that wide open. Just Texas Tech, as you said, Bill, ice cold here the first 13 minutes of this ball game.
Garcia Morales, guarded by Valdez. He penetrates, dishes off from the baseline right, leaves it short, and a whistle on the rebound. Go against the Aggies.
Well, Texas Tech only hitting 19%. The Aggies, the latest stats we had before those last 2 shots, as I mentioned, hitting 68%.
Ress will take a seat. 3 personal fouls on Tomas Ress.
Well, that is very serious for the Aggies when you realize that they are short-handed. Andy Slocum, who had legal problems, is still not able to play for the Aggies. Had another young person that played a lot on the front line. He became a Scholastic casualty at midterm. So you see Melvin Watkins and Lou Hill there trying to decide what.
The Raiders in the bonus, and Valdez hits the front end. With 6:40 to play in the first half. Tech moves into the 1-and-1 opportunity. Kevin Turner into the game for A&M. Valdez, as you see his numbers on the season. Tech had some problems at the free throw line in the second half, especially against Colorado, except for Valdez. Valdez was 10 for 12 at the line against the Buffs.
Well, that's been one of their Achilles heels all year, Bill, as they only shoot 65% from the line. Tight games, that will not get it done. Red Raiders only have 11 points. With 6 minutes and 41 seconds left. Keep in mind, they're the 3rd leading scoring team in the Big 12. So they're exceptionally cold, and the Aggies have played good D so far.
Kevin Turner off the mark. Davis runs it down. The Red Raiders bring it back. Ronald Ross out of Hobbs, New Mexico, inside to Emmett. in the trees. Tomaszek. Back out to Ross. Davis.
Aggies continuing in a 2-3 zone right now.
Still can't find it.
Now that was just a free throw there. When you're not knocking those down, you know you're in trouble, and certainly the Red Raiders are right now. Plenty of time to regroup, however.
A foul this time against Tech as Turner drives. Well, the Red Raiders, early in Big 12 play, had a miserable game in Manhattan against Kansas State. They lost 68-44.
Same type situation, Bill. They just could not knock down a decent percentage of field goal attempts.
And over and back, and Tech will have it.
Now that's the Aggies' 4th turnover of the game. Aggies average 15.4, I believe, per ball game. That's too many. Staying in this 2-3 zone right now. Tech averages forcing over 19 turnovers per game.
Ross from outside, three-pointer, and yes, finally Texas Tech is able to connect and cut the lead to 11 at 25-14.
Nice ball movement by Texas Tech that time, swinging the ball cross court to sophomore Ronald Ross. He's going to be a good one. Hails from Hobbs, New Mexico.
There's been a few Red Raiders from Hobbs, New Mexico.
I know I remember a bunch of them that used to blister me.
Jeff Taylor in your time out of Hobbs.
Absolutely.
Tony Binford, point guard. Kent Williams before that. Howell gets the rebound.
They've got another good one from New Mexico over there sitting right next to Coach Knight, Bubba Jennings.
Ross again. 6 in a row from Ronald Ross. He's filling it up like Bubba Jennings used to fill it up for the Red Raiders. Jennings, one game in high school in Clovis, New Mexico, Jennings scored 75 points in one game. That is filling it up.
Seemed like he scored that many against the Baylor Bears every time I saw him. He was a great one, one of the real nice young men. Bob Knight certainly compliments him. Very integral part of the basketball program now at Texas Tech.
Well, the Red Raiders were down by 16. That Ronald Ross is heating up.
It's amazing how quickly that 16-point deficit can decrease. Now just an 8-point deficit. You drill them like this, two consecutive trays by Ronald Ross. Nice smooth release, nice follow-up, nice balance by the sophomore.
He walked on as a freshman at Tech. He claims Iceman as his nickname. There's an Iceman in San Antonio who could fill it up too. An 8-point lead for A&M. A little run here.
Well, Texas A&M has Bernard King up at the high post without any movement. Texas Tech dropped off in front of him nicely in their team defense.
Garcia Morales.
Nice penetration right there by Garcia Morales, a junior college transfer. Just attacked the much smaller Will Chavis.
Matchup, Chavis with the ball now. And the Aggies come away with it. Garcia Morales. A foul call. On the floor is where...
The Aggie fans certainly are not going to agree with that. Bill Kennedy very emphatically saying, yes, it was. It was a bump before he went for the shot. We'll have a chance to see the striped shirts.
We're good at that.
Parker. I love it. Yeah, I've got to agree with Bill Kennedy. Good call. Tomaszek bumped him with the hip.
The Aggies will play it in. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
How would you like some fresh coffee? Hot cakes, biscuits, crispy hash brown. Hash brown. Good. You'll be the first in line at McDonald's.
Get to McDonald's this morning for our mouth-watering deluxe big breakfast platter. Now just $1.99. Scrambled eggs, zesty sausage, golden hash browns, fluffy hotcakes, and a biscuit, all for $1.99. Start your day out right with a breakfast made just for you at McDonald's.
Oh, Boo, you are way too good to me.
What you got going in the back of your head?
Join KNWS as we celebrate Black History Month with two great movies. The autobiography of Jane Pittman.
Let's go, let's go, let's get him, let's get him.
And Sounder. Both can be seen twice starting January 30th. That's the autobiography of Jane Pittman and Sounder on 51 KNWS.
We're back at Reed Arena. A lot of the noise that you're hearing tonight is coming from this group behind me. This is the Reed Rowdies. And joining me right now is Scott Blackwell, the president of Reed Rowdies. I'm not even going to try to describe what they do. I'm going to let Scott do that. Scott, tell us about this organization.
All right, basically, we just decided to take all the spirit of Aggieland and bring it in here to Reed Arena. And we want to make this the toughest place in the country to play. And we've got an awesome crowd here, 12,500 sold out, and we're going to beat the hell out of Tech.
All right, and what's with the get-up?
Oh, we want people to realize they can have a good time at the games and come out and just be crazy, go back to first grade and just let it all hang out.
I think you're doing a good job.
Thanks, Ken.
Back to you guys.
All right, Candace. Bernard Keene can't get it to fall, and Ross heads the other way for Texas Tech. Try to cut into a 10-point lead. He faced Nathan Dowdney in the lineup for Tech. He can shoot from long range.
Well, that's what he did last year. He's been off this year. Certainly not, he's a three-point threat, but his field goal percentage, not anything where the Red Raiders would like it to be. Nice strong move right there by Tomacek into the paint, continuing to get the misses. Red Raiders hitting only 24%, Aggies 57.
Tech just 6 for 25 from the field.
Very interesting. The Aggies can have a 10-point lead and not have an offensive rebound yet today.
There you go.
Right there, Bradley Jackson, smallest guy on the floor for the Aggies, the point guard. He gets their first offensive carom of the afternoon.
It's as if you had a vision. They were about to get an offensive rebound.
I wished I was that smart. Good positioning right there on the offside by Bradley Jackson. Just 5'11" tall, but very strong and muscular. A good floor leader for the Aggies. Had his 5th start of the year this afternoon for Texas A&M. He started all 16 conference games for the Aggies last year. Very good experience, a good tough floor leader. Assist to turnover ratio is very good. Hails from Inglewood, California. Played junior college basketball out at College of Southern Idaho before becoming a Texas Aggie.
He knocks down both of them. It's a 12-point lead for the Aggies. We're under 3 minutes left here in the first half. The sophomore Ross high off the glass, can't get it to fall. Texas A&M will play it in.
And Texas A&M was back straight man-to-man. Texas Tech set a good ball screen. Just could not get the finish on the penetration to the cleared side of the floor.
A traveling violation.
Texas Tech tried to jump up into the passing lane, caused Bradley Jackson a little moment of tenseness and shuffles his feet. Let's see right here. See, he picks the ball up, moves both feet. Absolute no-no.
Dowdney, he hits the 3 for Nathan Dowdney.
Well, he balanced up well, wide open. Good ball movement by Texas Tech, shooting over the Aggie defense.
And the Aggies turn it over again.
And the freshman right there, Antoine Wright, just lost his concentration, had no pressure on him. The 6th turnover of the half for Texas A&M.
And an 11-2 run for the Red Raiders. As Sid Powell loses it, Antoine Wright comes away with it. Now Bernard King working on Powell. Spin move into the lane. He draws the foul on Powell.
Good strong move right there by Bernard King, just challenging to Sid Powell. Let's take a look. You want to see a face of determination right here. Bernard King says, I'm just going to take you one-on-one and make it happen for the Texas Aggies. We've got a chance to see it again right there. Nice strong move into the paint.
Well, Bernard King with 5 points in the early go, and now has a chance to add to the total at the free throw line here. King averaging better than 17 points a game. He's at 7 points right now. Aggies built a 16-point lead, and Red Raiders went on an 11-2 run to cut it to 7.
Well, Bernard King, as we said, Tuesday night against Oklahoma became the all-time Aggies leading scorer, surpassing Vernon Smith from the late 70s, early 80s era.
And with 9 points now, he's at 1,799 points in his career. Emmett.
Now there's that strong baseline move I talked about earlier in the telecast. Andre Emmett can hurt you from out front or tough on the baseline. The conference's leading scorer right there, bringing Texas Tech back within 9.
We approach the minute-and-a-half mark here in the first half. Aggies try to finish strong. And a travel. 3 turnovers in the last 4 possessions for A&M.
We're starting to see how Texas Tech leads the conference in forcing the most turnovers. Their good offside help defense by Nathan Dowdney made Bradley Jackson pick up the ball before he wanted to, shuffled his feet.
Josh Washington now into the game for Texas Tech.
Yeah, he's a very fine freshman from Lubbock
Monterey.
System. Yes, one of the perennial powers in West Texas.
His dad, Joe Washington, played for Gerald Myers at Texas Tech in the early 80s, and a foul on the Aggies. Jackson called for the foul.
We'll have a chance to see the nice ball fake by Andre Emmett. Hit the ball to Ron Ross, breaking down the paint, moving well without the basketball. Bill, this was about the exact situation we had in the conference opener here at Reed Arena. A&M was up by 10 on Oklahoma State, went in at the half only up by 2.
Tech still can't get it to fall. A whistle will go against the Aggies.
Let's take a look right now. Texas Tech continuing to hurt Texas A&M badly on the offensive glass. This is the 6th offensive rebound of the first half for Texas Tech.
Here's Josh Washington. Where's his dad's old number? Number 40. Tupelo Joe Washington. Played for Tech. And Josh Washington was a football player as a Monterey Plainsman as well in Lubbock. True freshman.
There comes another freshman that Texas Tech thinks has a bright future. John Ofubu from San Antonio Taft High School. Big, strong youngster.
He knocks down both of them, does Josh Washington.
It's imperative for the Aggies' confidence that they finish this half strongly. Had a 16-point advantage at one time, down to 7 right now. There's 4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions. Exactly what I'm talking about there.
And Dowdney is fouled by Wright, and he'll have a chance to add at the free throw line.
See what's happening, you're having a big change in momentum. The Aggies had it all going their way. You mentioned they had 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions. Here, make it 4 turnovers in their last 5. Then they draw the foul. Texas Tech stops the clock, has a chance to cut it to 5 right now. Dowdney coming into the ball game doing a very nice job. His 4th point in only a couple of minutes of action.
Dowdney out of Rockwall, Texas, the sophomore, and he hits both of them. The sophomore hits 2 after the freshman hit 2. And the lead is down to 5. 40 seconds left, first half. from the ball again.
Have you noticed how Texas Tech's defensive intensity has picked up as the game's progressed? Makes a big difference. Melvin Watkins obviously not happy with what he has seen transpire here in the last 2.5 minutes of the first half.
1-1 for Bernard King. And the 1800th point of his career.
He's just such a terrific all-round player. I love the way he passes the basketball. Mentioned earlier, he's third in the Big 12 Conference with 6.1 assists per game.
Now with 11 in this game, he's 30 away from Marcus Fizer's Big 12 career scoring mark of 1,830 points. Seven-point lead for the Aggies. A slight difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Just very slight. Might as well be off. Washington penetrates to Downey from deep in the corner. Can't get it to fall. Aggies rebound, and there's the buzzer. The Aggies get out to the huge 16-point lead. They lead by 7 at the half. And the Aggies, Jim, do finish a little strong in the end with a 7-point lead at halftime.
Well, I'm sure the way things were going, they were worried about even having the lead there with that flurry of turnovers, but shooting way over 50% for the first half, the Aggies enjoying the 7-point margin.
So it's halftime here at Reed Arena. Texas A&M with a 7-point cushion over Bobby Knight's Texas Tech Red Raiders.
The championship vision checklist. The zone at Kyle Field. Check. Letterman's Museum and Erickson Hall of Fame, Hall of Honor. Check. Soccer, softball, track locker rooms and training rooms. Check. Only a few more checks needed to complete the championship vision, so send yours today. Thank you for your continued support of Texas A&M Athletics.
Families who are always on the go can go a lot farther in a Dodge Caravan SXT. It comes with Quad Plus seating, 4 captain's chairs, and a bench seat. And get a lot more for just $20,710 after a $2,500 cash allowance. Plus, grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it. Dodge Caravan SXT Quad Plus, a valuable addition to any family, even yours.
Nancy in the middle, she swings, she got it down! Reach to the top!
And good execution by Oklahoma.
The Texas Longhorns are national champions.
And the winner is Eric Crouch, University of Nebraska.
The first man in the history of athletic competition to go undefeated, never a loss.
Hi there, we're back at Reed Arena where the Aggies are leading the Red Raiders. Joining me tonight is the head football coach of Texas A&M, the 26th head football coach of Texas A&M, Dennis Franchione. Coach Fran, thanks for joining us tonight. Good to see you.
It's good to be here. Great game.
It is a great game. Talk to us about the transition to college, Jason. How has it been for you and your family so far?
It's been very good. We're very comfortable in Texas. We like it here a great deal. Know a lot of people. Very comfortable with the high school coaches and have recruited this state for so long. So it's really been easy.
Everyone seems to just love you here. You've talked a whole lot about the football family and how important it is to really bring the guys into the family, you know, to really be friends and to be like a family. Why is that important?
Well, number one, when we take young men away from their families, we need to be that support for them. I think the philosophy of Texas A&M is one that fits in so well with what I believe about a football family, team building, attitude, chemistry, and helping us take young men where they can't take themselves, academically, athletically, socially, and even spiritually.
And I know you planned some team building events, and I guess the first one's coming up next week. Tell us about that.
Well, next week is Silver Taps, and Brandon Fales is the young man that we will be honoring that evening. And we're going to have a workout and a team meal and then go together as a team to that event.
That's great. That's certainly going to build a camaraderie between the guys. You know, I can't talk to you tonight without talking about what's coming up on next Wednesday, National Signing Day. All of the big-time recruit guys have said that you have one of the top 10, maybe top 5 recruiting classes. You come in, you've retained all of the recruits that we already had and added some big-time guys to that list. Has it been difficult?
Well, anytime you have to cram a year's worth of recruiting or more into 6 weeks, it is a little bit trying, but fortunately there were some things in place for us. We were able to build on it. Having been from Texas, still recruiting this state, there were a lot of carryover things for us and made it very easy to walk back in and change colors, pick up the pace, and go ahead, and helped us draw this class together.
How do you feel this recruiting class will take care of the key areas of need for the A&M football team?
Well, we'd like to think we know that answer, and we'd like to think that it is going to. I think we're going to find out a lot more about our football team in the next couple months, and as we get to spring practice and those kinds of things, and see what we really do need.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Coach Brand. We'll be thinking about you next Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
And we'll be back after these messages.
This portion of KNWS is brought to you by your Houston Metro Ford dealers.
Start your year off with something really big. Really big savings on all Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now through February 9th, get an additional $500 Auto Show bonus cash on select new Fords, including F-Series, Excursion, Focus, and Ranger. See your Texas Ford dealer today for an additional $500 Auto Show bonus cash on F-Series and more.
Hilton here from our family to yours. We want to thank our great customers of the greatest city in the world and invite everyone out to come celebrate our 7th year anniversary on a store-wide markdown 1-year interest-free sale. We are the clearance center for major name brand mattress manufacturers. Call today, 910-FACT, for the true facts on buying name brand mattresses for less. Experience personal treatment with big-time savings and big-time service. Hilton Furniture and Mattress, I-45 South, exit Fuquay, just inside the Beltway. And that's a fact, Jack.
Tune in as the Houston Rockets blast off and battle C-Webb and the Sacramento Kings from Compaq Center. Sunday at 3 right here on 51 KNWS.
Celebrating high school graduation.
No, I dropped out.
哦，中學畢唔到業。
Texas A&M leads Texas Tech 33-26. We are at the half at Reed Arena here in College Station. You know, Bernard King, the A&M sharpshooter, with 11 points in the first half. Now 1,801 points in his Aggie career. And Candace Kruger had a chance to sit down with the senior sharpshooter this week.
When Bernard King arrived in College Station as a skinny freshman from rural Louisiana in 1999, he said he wanted to be the greatest player in Texas A&M history. 4 years later, King is a senior, and if statistics are the barometer, he's on the verge of achieving his goal. King has become the Aggies' all-time leading scorer and will soon become the career leader in the Big 12, arguably the best conference in college basketball. How important are these records to you?
Well, I mean, they're important, but they're not the most important thing to me. Winning is more important than anything to me right now. Those things will just come and they go, so.
You grew up playing basketball with Marcus Spicer in Louisiana. What does it mean for you to approach his Big 12 scoring record?
I mean, just to be able to break his record, I mean, I get a chance to joke with him a lot about it.
Few players in the country can match King's combination of scoring, rebounding, and assists. In fact, King is on track to become only the 8th player in Division I history to score 2,000 points with 500 rebounds and 500 assists.
I mean, I'm leading this team the best way I can. I mean, I've been trying to be able to lead over the past, but just haven't been able to win. But this year, I'm able to win, got good players, and I'm just on the court just being positive at all times, and I'm helping the younger guys out when they need it.
While the records are impressive, the only records that really matter to King are wins and losses. Thanks to his senior leadership, the Aggies are off to their best start in 9 years.
They have to shut the team down, and it's no longer Bernard. It's the team. It's Texas A&M. It's not longer Bernard King and Texas A&M. It's just Texas A&M, and they have to shut us down as a team. And everyone believes now. I mean, in the past, I think we didn't believe. We believe we can do it, and just the attitudes that we have on the team is all positive. Everyone thinks that we can beat anybody we play. And it's just great to have your players behind you backing you up for leading, because makes no sense for one person leading and the next person don't. As a team, we all believe we can win.
Basketball has become popular at A&M again. It's got to help the team out to have that backing.
The atmosphere is just totally different, and when you walk in as a player, you can just feel it. I mean, you just feel totally different walking into it, knowing that the fans are behind you 100%. I mean, they're really giving us a big boost.
Bernard, how do you want to be remembered at Texas A&M?
Oh, most definitely the greatest player to come through A&M. That's what I had set as a goal before I got here, and that's why I want to remember as the best player ever to come through here. That's what I'm just trying to achieve right now.
I've said it before the game, Bernard King honored as on Tuesday in Norman, Oklahoma, he became the Aggies' all-time leading scorer, and with 30 more points, Bernard King can become the Big 12's all-time leading scorer, surpassing Iowa State ex Marcus Fizer. Aggies lead it at the half by 7 over the Red Raiders.
Being 100% Texan is a way of life, and the best way to live it is in a 100% Texas truck, a Dodge truck. And now during Dodge Truck Month, you'll find Texas-size savings with low financing offers. Or you can get a generous cash allowance on Motor Trend's 2003 Truck of the Year. Plus, grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Dodge Truck Month, only at Truckville, your Texas Dodge dealer.
For centuries, man endeavored to discover what lies beyond. Thousands have ventured into the bright white light, only to return to the pain from whence they came. We call these people the other team.
I told you not to come in that middle no more. Not in my house, baby.
Don't miss the excitement. Sports. It's time to see the light.
Nancy in the middle. She swings. She got it going. Three to the top.
And good execution by Oklahoma.
The Texas Longhorns are national champions.
And the winner is Eric Crouch from Nebraska.
The first man in the history of athletic competition to go undefeated. Never a loss.
Aggies lead the Red Raiders 33-26 here at the half at Reed Arena. Bill Jones along with Jim Haller. And Jim, the Aggies got off to the big early lead in this game.
Well, they did it by shooting a phenomenal percentage. After the first 12 minutes of the ball game, they were still shooting over 60%. We'll have a chance to see some of this fantastic action by the Aggies early. Freshman Antoine Wright right there knocking down the first 2 of the ball game, leading the Aggies to their early barrage. Robert Tomachek, the big junior college transfer by way of Eastern Wyoming, brings the Red Raiders back with a perimeter shot. Right there, the Aggies' Achilles heel. 8 turnovers in the first, leading right there to an easy Texas Tech bucket by leading scorer Andre Emmett. And Bernard King, 3 of his first half, 11 points. Great assist right there. The conference's 3rd leading assist man, kicking off to Jesse King, but bringing the Texas Tech Red Raiders back, sophomore Ronald Ross knocked down 2 in a row to bring the Red Raiders back to within 5 at one time. Currently at halftime down by 7. Andre Emmett at the last 2 of the first half for the Red Raiders. His 4th, only 4 points for him, Bill, in the first half. Second leading scorer, Kasip Powell. Think about this. Those 2 guys averaged 38 points per game for Tech, only 4 in the first half combined.
They are a combined 2 for 12 from the floor, shooting just 17%. That has to improve for Texas Tech in the second half. We'll be back to Reed Station right after these messages from your local station.
KNWS is brought to you by your Houston Metro Ford dealers.
Start your year off with something really big. Really big savings on all Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now through February 9th, get an additional $500 Auto Show bonus cash on select new Fords, including F-Series, Excursion, Focus, and Ranger. See your Texas Ford dealer today for an additional $500 auto show bonus cash on F-Series and more.
Kevin, I want you to move to Philadelphia and learn everything about making an authentic Philly cheesesteak.
I'll do my best, sir.
Kevin.
Yo, Jackie! How's it hanging, bro? I sauced out Billy like a sponge.
My new Philly cheesesteak is the real deal. Marinated sliced steak smothered with grilled onions and melting cheese on a hearth-baked steak roll. It's really authentic.
How you doing?
Maybe a little too authentic.
Tune in as the Houston Rockets blast off and battle C-Webb and the Sacramento Kings from Compaq Center. Sunday at 3 right here on 51 KNWS.
A 7-point cushion for the Aggies at a halftime here in College Station. Jim Haller, what stands out amongst the halftime stats for you?
Well, there's two things that jump out at me. Look at the very top one right there. Texas Tech has had 8 more field goal attempts than the Aggies. They're only shooting 25%, but that's pretty significant. That's happening because Texas Tech has dominated the offensive glass. Texas Tech has 7 offensive rebounds to only 1 for Texas A&M. Everything else just about even. Free throws, three-pointers, neither one really burning it up from three-point range. Texas Tech is the league in three-point field goals made, but 4 here in the first half today is far more than they would usually get.
Ronald Ross and Nathan Dowdney able to account for 3 of those three-pointers at 3 in a row to bring Bob Knight's team back. So they trailed by 16. Early leading scorers are Ross and Dowdney. You don't expect that for Texas Tech. Emmett and Sid Powell have combined for just the 4 points scored by Emmett.
Bill, you certainly don't expect that from those two, but that's nice production off the bench. Nice substitutions by the Tech coaching staff.
And King right on track as he has 11 points for Melvin Watkins in the first half, and we are underway in the second half. Bradley Jackson, Keith Bean got into some early foul trouble for A&M. Had to sit a lot in the first half. Antoine Wright, the true freshman. Team to Jackson working the right side. Dowdney starts for Tech in the second half.
Well, Texas Tech has come back in their usual half-court man-to-man. Good step and help there by Tomacek. Still nobody on the offensive glass for the Aggies.
Bobby Knight starts with the sophomore Ross, or the Ross and Dowdney, 2 sophomores in the backcourt.
Just what you would expect. I'm sure Coach Knight said, look, we've got to get the ball in the hands of Andre Emmett and Kasib Powell. What a way to start for the Red Raiders coming off of that post screen.
Lead down to 5, and a whistle to go against Texas Tech inside.
Have a chance to see the Aggies with the entry pass to Bernard King down low, trying to work quickly to the bucket. Kasib Powell with help from Andre Emmett right there. Nice double down, but they drew the foul. Now watch Texas A&M on their out-of-bounds situation. They like to get it back to Bernard King quickly if they can. Right there, coming off the pick by Keith Bean, wasn't open. Nice defense by the Red Raiders. They spent a lot of time in practice today working on that play.
Their scouting pays off. Jackson way outside, three-pointer by Arrest, no good. Powell with a rebound, and Tech can cut the lead down to 3.
Well, that was a good shot right there. Arrest just didn't knock it down, as you said. Plenty of time.
And the lead is 3.
First 2 possessions of the second half. They stack Andre Emmett coming off the post screen, doing the little curl, as they call it. Emmett now doubles his first half production in the first minute of play in the second half.
What was a 16-point lead is now down to 3. Jackson, though, connects for A&M.
Yeah, but how about that pass by the freshman, making it all possible? Antoine Wright across the court to the baseline to Bradley Jackson, balanced well.
Emmett again. 6 early points for Andre Emmett to start the second half.
You think there was a little lecture going on at halftime, partner? Get the ball to your leading scorer. How can we win if he only has 4.5? Guys, come on, they listen.
And all of a sudden, he's in double figures now with 10. It appeared to be a quadruple team on the left side. To Sid Powell looking inside. Now Emmett. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. Three-pointer this time. It's the Andre Emmett show.
Well, Tomas Ref's very slow getting out on the conference's leading scorer that time. How quickly a ball game can change.
We are tied at 35, and Andre Emmett has 9 points to start the second half. Bernard King gets his own rebound, stripped, and a foul.
Only the second offensive rebound of the game for Texas A&M. They're actually last in the conference in that category. They need to improve in that area for sure, like right now.
Tech has come all the way back now after being down 25-9. We start over at 35 all.
Always watch Bernard King on out-of-bounds plays under the Aggie bucket.
Emmett again comes up with the steal, trying to get the handle on it. Doudney finishes.
Oh, beautiful kiss off the glass by Doudney right there. Beautiful job of transition off the turnover by the Texas Aggies. A&M, as I said earlier, leads the league in most turnovers per game. Texas Tech leads the league in most forced turnovers. That strategy certainly proving true here today.
And Texas Tech has its first lead of this game at 37-35. Driving to the basket, Powell, and he's fouled. They go to the line.
What a difference halftime can make. I kept saying there at the end of the first 20 minutes of action that the Aggies were losing their momentum rapidly. It certainly has not picked up here in the second half.
To start the second half, 11-2, Texas Tech.
All-time record Texas A&M basketball crowd needs to get behind this team quickly. They've quieted down quite a bit from their raucous nature of the first half. Not an empty seat in the house.
And Melvin Watkins goes to his bench, gets someone who can stroke it from outside. Bernard King usually can. He's been fouled here the last couple of times down. He'll take a seat.
Well,
Kevin Turner's in.
Kevin Turner, who came in for him, has done that twice this year, come in and really given the Aggies a spark. He did it in their big victory over the University of Tennessee, and he did it against Oklahoma State earlier this season. Didn't lead to a victory, but he put the Aggies up for a while.
Sid Powell on the board. Finally, he has 2 points now. He averages nearly 17 a game.
Texas Tech playing the passing lanes much tougher right now, particularly against the good shooters like Kevin Turner. Look at that right there, Ronald Ross jumping up in the passing lane, not letting the Aggies' best perimeter shooter on the floor right now get open.
It'll be A&M basketball. That's what Bob Knight coach teams are known for through the years, that stingy man-to-man defense.
A lot of coaches around the league think they're putting more pressure on the passing lanes this year than normal. Maybe that's a result of a little more team quickness, but a good example of that going on right now.
Jesse King walks. Turnover for the Aggies. The Texas A&M led by 16, but the Red Raiders have outscored the Aggies 30-10 since then. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
You know why we really love coming to Delta Downs Racetrack and Casino? It's right next door. It's a place where we can really relax and...
It's our anniversary, and we're giving away a car each day during the Car a Day giveaway, too. Come by each day in February and swipe your Car Rewards card to get an entry ticket. Enter each day or save all your tickets for one special day. Visit deltadowns.com for more details.
Just take I-10 East, exit 4.
Head north and follow the sign.
It's the closest.
There's just nothing quite like the smell of a new truck. especially one without a monthly payment. Play Bucks and Trucks 2 from the Texas Lottery with 10 chances to win cash prizes or a new Ford F-150 Super Cab XLT.
Come on, stretch it.
Extreme.
We're gonna die.
Exhilarating.
Cool, dude.
Exotic. Explosive.
It was just an all-out war.
Explicit.
Oh, it's on.
Exciting.
My mom.
Excuse me?
Expect the unexpected.
Exactly.
This is gonna be fun.
Experience it all from the very beginning on Road Rules.
Oh my God.
Sundays at 9 on KNWS.
Texas Tech has come all the way back, leaded by 4, 13-2 run to start the second half, Jim.
Well, Texas Tech looks extremely sharp right now, especially on their screens, getting Andre Emmett open, their leading scorer, the conference's leading scorer, scored the first 4 buckets of the second half for the Red Raiders. Just amazing. Gets 9 points in the first 2 minutes of the second half, only 4 in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Cannot connect that time, and Antoine Wright comes down with it for Texas A&M. They try to heat up Kevin Turner from outside. The top of the key now, and Antoine Wright in control.
Kasib Powell guarding Antoine Wright. Wright not being able to explode for the Aggies so far this afternoon like he usually does at some point in every game.
Working his way into the lane, can't get it to fall. And Kasib Powell able to save it.
Well, Antoine Wright got every inch of effort out of that pivot foot on the last effort.
He covered about 20 feet.
He sure did. That was amazing.
Backdoor. Ronald Ross completes it.
The Texas Tech moves better without the basketball than any team in this league. Terrific on cuts away from the ball. Good example of it right there. They're just obviously moving so much sharper right now than they did the first 20 minutes of action.
And it's a 15-2 run to start the second half for Texas Tech. Jesse Keene, Bernard Keene, is on the sideline for Texas A&M right now. Jackson drives all the way off the glass.
Nice penetration. That's something the Aggie coaches wanted their outside people to do. Attack the glass. Right there, Texas Tech didn't have time to get their team defense rotated. Go hard, go quick.
So a 6-point lead cut to 4, and the Aggie crowd tries to get into it a little bit. Tomaszek looks inside, and Keith Bean will be called for the foul.
And Keith tried to do it with his hands instead of sliding his feet that time. The big, wide body not quick enough to play that tight. Coach Knight exhorting his troops, has done it extremely well this half. See Keith Bean there pushing off with the hands. Can't do that, big fella.
3 personal fouls on Keith Bean. Sid Powell back out to Downey, over to Ross from 3-point land. Long, way long. Kevin Turner with it for A&M. And Bernard King back in the game. Cross court to Antoine Wright. Yes, 3-pointer.
He did a nice job of spotting up, spreading the floor for the Aggies, bringing them back to within 1. The freshman knows how to play, mature beyond his years.
And the largest crowd ever in Aggie land for a basketball game starts to make some real noise. Tomaszek. Jesse King has it for A&M.
Nice block out by Wright then, enabling the Aggies to get the defensive rebound. Texas Tech, needless to say, has hurt them all day on the offensive glass. Aggies spreading the floor now, trying to enable some penetration to take place.
Bernard King, the lefty from downtown College Station.
Two consecutive trays by the Aggies' 2 leading scorers. Senior Bernard King, freshman Antoine Wright, bringing the Aggies back to the advantage.
Bernard King was cold to start the second half. He sat down for a couple of minutes, and he's ready to heat up, it looks like. Aggies come up with a loose ball. 3-on-1. 3-pointer. Red Raiders come the other way as Kevin Turner could not hit.
Nice judgment by Nathan Dowdney in transition for the Red Raiders right there. Didn't force it.
Andre Emmett rattles out. Wright has it. Aggies try to add to a 2-point lead. Homacek comes up with it for Tech.
Probably a little quick right there. Make sure you've got somebody in rebounding position.
Kasib Powell will slow it down for Tech now. Ross and Downey getting a lot of playing time for Tech. Kasib Powell, way long. Tech comes up with it. Touched an Aggie, so not a backcourt violation. Antoine Wright in command on the boards that time.
Kasib Powell, the Red Raiders' second leading scorer, still only has 2 here this afternoon, averaging almost 17 points per game for the Red Raiders.
However, he only had 9 points against Colorado on Wednesday night, so he's had a little cold spell here in the last week. Bernard King, way long.
Now Bernard King is rushing his shot. Not good decisions right now offensively for Texas A&M. Get that lead back at home. Make that visitor foul you. Work hard to the bucket.
And an 8-0 run for A&M gives them the lead. Now this from your local station.
In Texas, bigger really is better. And now there's a bigger and better reason to drive a Dodge truck. Dodge Truck Month, where you'll find Texas-size savings with low financing offers. Or you can get a generous cash allowance on Motor Trend's 2003 Truck of the Year. Plus, grab Dodge's 770 Powertrain Limited Warranty. Dodge Truck Month, only at a place called Truckville, your Texas Dodge dealer.
Hi, I'm Candace Kruger, Miss USA 2001. Winning the Miss USA crown has given me a wonderful opportunity to represent my country, my state, my family, and of course, my extended family. It's easy to become a part of all this excitement through the 12th Man Foundation. We're a tight-knit group, but we'd love for you to join us. Because in Aggieland, you just never know who you might be walking arm in arm with on game day.
Aggies have battled back to take a 2-point lead on the Red Raiders. Of course, Bobby Knight, the Texas Tech coach, with 799 wins and holding right now. That exclusive 800 club he tries to join tonight. Pretty big names there. Dean Smith, Adolph Rupp, Jim Phelan from Mount St. Mary's, who retires this year. And even on the women's side here in the last month, Pat Ed Summit from Tennessee, Jody Conrad from Texas.
And if Bob Knight gets 800 today, the Texans across the state can be very proud. 2 members of that elite group right there would be from our state.
Jody Conrad, Texas, and Bob Knight, Texas Tech. The Texas A&M does not want it to happen in their house.
You know what's amazing is Bob Knight has 3 assistants that have worked for him that have all got over 500 victories. Coach K at Duke, Dave Bliss at Baylor, and Don DeVoe at Navy.
Tomas Rest cannot hit. Kasib Powell looking over his shoulder. He'll have to do it himself. Give a chance to tie and take the lead here. Homacek to Downey.
Texas A&M doing a good job in their man-to-man defense right now, sliding well. Good help right there, converging 4-on-1. Nice job in rotation.
And Andre Emmett calls timeout. Bob Knight's Red Raiders trailing the Aggies, and now these messages from your local station.
2003 Saab 9.5 Sport Wagon. 73 cubic feet of cargo space and the addictive power of turbo. Right now, lease a Saab 9.5 Sport Wagon as low as $359 a month for 48 months. For details, see your Saab dealer.
Welcome to Lavalife's Temptation Telephone. Right now, callers are recording their personal profiles and listening to other callers' profiles. Some are even chatting live. Sparks are flying as strangers are becoming friends. Let's meet some of the players. Sarah's in banking. Her passions include golf and golf. She's just met another golf fan and they're talking right now. Need some tips on your swing? Max makes up for his 2 left feet by working wonders in the kitchen. Right now, you could be swapping recipes with him. Renata runs a media company and is looking for someone to keep up with her. She makes friends fast and has been talking to so many people tonight. Mike heads up an IT department, loves animals, and romantic walks to the convenience store. Don't wait. Whatever you're looking for, a date, friendship, or fantasy, it's all happening right now on Lavalife's Temptation Telephone. Thousands of singles in your area are calling every day. It's safe, easy, and confidential. Plus, it's free to call. Temptation is calling. Call Lavalife now.
So a huge win for the Longhorns today. That game had national interest, both teams in the top 10. Well, Texas Tech coming out of the timeout with a quick tray.
Downey was way off the mark with it.
That was the 13th three-point attempt for Texas Tech today. They usually, well, not usually, they average 10 per game. What is interesting is they've already made 5 threes this afternoon, and they normally make only 2.8 per game. So the Red Raiders a little out of normalcy here this afternoon.
About 50% for three-point land in the first half. A nice penetration, and Bernard King has the 2.
How about that change of hand right there? Bernard King is a natural lefty. Shifted that ball to the right hand, showing his dexterity.
To Slip Powell with a follow.
The Aggie defenders did a good job stopping him coming off of that screen, but got the Red Raiders offensive rebound again, where they are just killing Texas A&M this afternoon.
Off Kevin Turner, Downey comes up with it, and Tech down by 2 with possession. Ronald Ross to Emmett, looked inside. The Powell will penetrate himself and will miss, and Bernard Keene comes down with it for A&M. Kevin Turner, yes, three-pointer.
Texas Tech spent a lot of time today in practice talking about making sure they were tight on Turner in transition, knowing that he's a three-point threat.
Emmett with a 2-point answer at the other end to cut the lead to 3.
Tomas Rest trying to get the charge, but it was a flop. Good no call by official Bill Kennedy. How about that, partner? Bragging on the strike shirt. Right. Good call.
And a good steal by Downey. Take it the distance, and the lead is down to 1.
Texas Tech playing the passing lanes tighter and tighter as the ball game goes on. 8:40 left of the contest.
Ross guarding King. Antoine Wright, three-pointer. They are heating up.
Well, Aggies have been a much better three-point shooting team this year. Been in the top 4 in the league all season long. Picking it up, as you said, here as the game progresses this afternoon. 6 threes now for Texas A&M, 5 for Texas Tech.
Tech will play it in under the basket. A foul call. Kevin Turner is out of the game now.
They like to curl Kasib Powell around the screen after he gets the ball in bounds. Right there, spinning and posting up quickly. He can usually jump up and over the defender. Jumped up and over, but didn't get the finish.
Emmett penetrates. Aggies have it.
Nice team defense for the Aggies in the paint that time.
8-minute mark we approach. 51-47 A&M. Both teams trying to get back to the 500 mark in Big 12 conference play. Ross playing the passing lane with the steal and a nice pass to Downey, who finishes.
Well, Texas A&M is much too careless right now. You and I keep talking about the fact that they're playing the passing lanes. The Aggies have got to know that. Move tougher to the ball. Shorten that distance on the pass.
He's tired. He got too tired too.
Ross and Downey getting a lot of playing time for Texas Tech, and they're coming through. Bernard King working inside, and a whistle.
Of course, partner, kind of things. I know it's a lot easier to recognize that over here than it is out there on the hardwood. But the Aggies continue to have turnover problems. Mentioned earlier, they lead the league in the most turnovers this season.
Come here.
Bob Knight talking with the freshman Josh Washington.
Well, Ronald Ross has really done a nice job coming off the bench for Texas Tech this afternoon. Whale of a defensive effort. Knocked down some nice trays. He's the one that really ignited the Red Raiders there at the end of the first half when he hit 2 threes in a row.
In that stretch, Tech scored 8 straight points after being down 25-9. They were down 7 at halftime and took the lead early in the second half behind Andre Emmett. Bernard King is able to get the second one, and it's a 52-49 lead. These messages from your local station, then we'll be back to College Station.
Tune in as the Houston Rockets blast off and battle C-Webb and the Sacramento Kings from Compaq Center. Sunday at 3 right here on 51 KNWS.
An injured veteran often faces a long and difficult struggle. That's why Help Hospitalized Veterans delivers arts and craft kits to hospitals around the country. They can also find you a hospital in which to volunteer. To learn more, call 1-888-567-VETS.
How would you like some fresh coffee? Hot cakes, biscuits, crispy hash browns? Hash browns. Good. You'll be the first in line at McDonald's.
Get to McDonald's this morning for our mouth-watering deluxe big breakfast platter. Now just $1.99. Scrambled eggs, zesty sausage, golden hash browns, fluffy hot cakes, and a biscuit, all for $1.99. Start your day out right with a breakfast made just for you at McDonald's.
Oh, Boo, you are way too good to me.
Ever wonder how your favorite actresses stayed so slim? It's a closely guarded Hollywood secret. Right there. It's the Celebrity Topical Weight Loss Patch. The amazing new patch that helps you enjoy your favorite foods while controlling your appetite. You lose weight 24 hours a day simply by wearing it. So why sweat and strain in the gym when you can look this good for only $19.95? You'll receive our Power Yoga video, our meal plan and recipe guide, and 30 patches for only $19.95. Compare our patch to peel away the pounds and save. To order, call the number on the screen below or look for it at a retailer near you.
Have you heard Hollywood's best kept secret?
Aggies lead the Red Raiders 52-49, 7:21 to play. Bob Knight started his head coaching career at age 24. It's taken him 37 years to get 799 wins. It's a tough thing to do, Jim Howler.
Well, very hard. In fact, he would only become the 4th coach in the history of NCAA Division I to do it. But look at the youngest coach in the Big 12, Quinn Snyder at Missouri. 36 years of age, has 75 career wins already. That averages out to 20.7 per season. It would have to take 35 seasons to achieve that mark. He would be 71 if he could reach where Bob Knight is now. I would say it ain't gonna happen.
Quinn Snyder, the youngest coach in the Big 12 Conference. Bob Knight is now 62. He started at age 24 as a head coach.
I truly believe Bob Knight will coach until he passes Dean Smith. I truly believe that. He does not want to admit it, but he's such a competitor, you know he'd like to get there.
Andre Emmett, who else?
Now, the Andre Emmett show is taking place in the second half here this afternoon after a slow start for the conference's leading scorer.
For Bob Knight to get number 800 tonight, it's going to go right down to the wire, it looks like. Antoine Wright again.
What a terrific freshman. You have to be impressed with his calm, cool, his poise. Always seems under control.
3 3-pointers in the second half for Antoine Wright.
Huge basket by Tomaszek right there, balanced up at the free throw stripe. Nice assist, kick out to Tomaszek. Good spacing, nice job by the Red Raiders in crunch time.
Jackson loses it. Dowdney comes up with it for Tech.
And now Dowdney and Ronald Ross have both played terrifically off the bench for Texas Tech here this afternoon.
Josh Washington, a freshman, misses right with a rebound. After A&M was down 41-37, 5 of the last 6 field goals have come from three-point land. A 2 by King, and it is Andre Emmett who draws the foul.
Bill, you notice Texas Tech's leading scorer, Kasib Powell, is on the bench right now. Let's talk about this. The last 9 games, he's averaged over 37 minutes per game. In 2 of those, he's played over 40 minutes. He could be tired. That could be a reason for his less than productive effort here this afternoon. Only has 2 points so far with 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go. He averages over 16 per game.
As Bernard King is at the line, you know, Powell had only 9 points against Colorado on Wednesday, and Knight blames it on the fact that he had Powell do some extra shooting practice in the shoot-around that morning, and he thought it was a real mistake. Knight said he thought Powell was a little tired on Wednesday night. He's never done that to a player on game day before. He said it was a mistake.
Well, and he's the master. If anybody knows, he certainly would. I'm not going to argue with him.
Not either. 3-point lead for Texas A&M. Washington drops. 3 Aggies are there.
Nice team beef defense by Texas A&M, rotating well to the baseline.
Jesse King, it's an offensive foul. Lowered his shoulder into Andre Emmett.
Yep, I've got to agree with Kelly Self right there. Made a good call. He did. Got that left elbow out there, jammed the shoulder later.
And Andre Emmett is feeling it.
Tough under the bucket. Bob Knight talking to official Bill Kennedy right there, lobbying in the final minutes of today's game.
We approach the 5-minute mark. Emmett unable to connect. Aggies have the rebound. Antoine Wright again.
Nice job of blocking out by the 6'7" freshman perimeter player.
Jackson working on Dowdney.
He's trying to look for an advantage there. He knows he's a step quicker than Dowdney, but can't find the penetration lane available to the bucket.
King, guarded by Josh Washington, does a good job, but on the other side, Jackson can't get it to fall. Tomas Ross can't get it either. And Tomacek has the rebound.
Well, the Aggies got a rare offensive rebound, just couldn't get the quick putback. Tough miss by Tomas Rest. We'll have a chance to see this last flurry under the bucket. Rest gets it right there over Tomacek, tries the little jump hook. Wasn't to be for the Aggies. Had a jump ball situation here. It goes to Texas Tech.
Bradley Jackson reached in there and just for a moment tied it up.
Well, it's been physical from start to finish. Certainly it looks like it's going to end that way as well. The Aggies getting ready to put their biggest, baddest, and widest body back in the game. Keith Bean, number 2, coming in from Tomas Rest. A lot of strength going in on the floor for the Aggies right now with Bean. Not as tall, but certainly wider and stronger.
Rest, 7 foot 230. Bean, 6'8", 265 is what he's listed.
Antoine Wright, 2 terrific defensive plays the last 2 times that the Red Raiders have had the ball. That freshman can play at all areas of the game.
Bernard King guarded by Andre Emmett. In the lane, Jesse King.
How about that assist to Bernard King, the third leading assist man, the Aggies' leading scorer.
A playmaker. They're making noise. G. Wally White Coliseum is the holler house on the Brazos, and Reed Arena, now in its 5th year in existence, the largest crowd ever to see a Texas A&M basketball game in College Station, 12,611. Capacity is 12,500.
The spirit of Aggie Land definitely working right now. Terrific pass by Bernard King. Good vision. Nice cut without the ball by Jesse King. King to King, making it happen for the Aggies.
A king-size bucket for Texas A&M. And a 5-point lead for the Aggies. The Reed Rowdies are enjoying it. Less than 4 minutes to play in this one. And Texas A&M in the second half, after falling behind by 4 points, have done it from three-point land. And Bernard King, who leads the team in assists and scoring, it's one of his biggest assists of the game. Well, we saw the results of games earlier today as Texas beat Oklahoma State. Oklahoma holds on to win in overtime, and Kansas won as well. There are 4 teams with 1 loss in the conference. Missouri has 2 losses. The winner of this game will move into the upper tier of the conference with 3 wins and 3 losses.
Oh, and it's so imperative to stay at least at that 500 mark. Just think, both ball clubs now playing very well. One of these will be 2 under 500, the other will be even.
Big swing game. Downey misses badly.
Now that's 2 straight timeouts. The Tech has come out and gone straight to Downey, but after a nice start, he has not come close on his last couple of efforts.
Downey getting a lot of playing time in the second half, and King working on Emmett.
Bill, a big key. Can Texas A&M take care of the basketball without turnovers, and can they get the free throws down?
They could not get the follow, and a foul called. And Keith Bean again.
Well, they certainly had the easy look right there. Wasn't easy getting there. Wide open shots for the finish. Keith Bean, he'll have a chance. And watch how physical it's getting in the paint underneath. Nice penetration by freshman Antoine Wright. He's been knocking those down. Jesse King was there for the putback, tried the stuff. Look again, nice body balance by Antoine Wright, not to get the charging foul. Jesse King tried to go back on the putback. Keith Bean on the foul on the reach as he went to the floor.
And 4 fouls now for Keith Bean.
Neither team close to being in foul trouble. Aggies only have 5 team fouls, Texas Tech only 4.
But individually for Texas A&M, Bean has 4. Jesse King 4. There's the timeout situation.
The only player in foul trouble for Texas Tech is Sim Powell, second leading scorer, who's only garnered 4 points here today, has 4 personals.
And Powell's been sitting on the bench here the last couple of minutes. Will Chavis has not played much at all, if any, in the second half of this game.
It's going to be very interesting to see how these ball clubs handle the pressure in the final minutes. Neither one of them real good at the charity stripe. Texas Tech only shooting right at 65% for the year. Texas A&M hitting right at 69%. But keep this in mind for Texas A&M. Over their last 6 games, they've knocked down 76% of their free throws. That is very good.
There are the Reed Rowdies. They are making some noise. They have reason to tonight as Texas A&M enjoys a 5-point lead with just over 3 minutes to play. And you look at the Aggies, who are 10-6 on the season, taking on Bob Knight and his Texas Tech team that is 12-4 on the season. Both teams had successful non-conference seasons, but we get to conference play, and it's tough to keep your head above water in this conference.
Now, Texas Tech, as you mentioned, only 1 non-conference defeat, that being to Wyoming. I guess their biggest non-conference win was over Minnesota from the Big Ten. Ended up winning that one in overtime on the road in Minneapolis. Sophomore Ronald Ross out front now for Texas Tech. Nathan Dowdney staying in for the Red Raiders. Kasib Powell back on the floor now in the waning minutes, even with 4 fouls.
Tomachek leaves it short. Aggies corral the rebound. Jackson to right. Drives all the way in, and ho!
How about that for highlight reel action? The freshman has actually taken the ball game over for Texas A&M. A power move with the flush. Nothing but net.
King with a rebound. 7-point lead for A&M, and Antoine Wright. How about this guy?
Well, he was the preseason Freshman of the Year selection, certainly doing it here this afternoon. Nice decision right there. I said the guy's mature beyond his years, making lots of smart moves right here for the Texas Aggies this afternoon.
I'll run some clock as we get down toward the 2-minute mark with 10 on the shot clock now. Tech comes up with it. Less than 2 to play.
There was the dreaded turnover that you talk about in crunch time. Can't have them.
Dowdney finds the range finally for Tech. Three-pointer cuts the lead to 4.
Well, the Aggies had the ball on that last possession with a 7-point advantage. Could have upped it to 9. Now it's down to 4.
Aggies want a timeout with 1:42 to play, nursing a 4-point lead. Well, Bob Knight has gone with the sophomores at guard for much of the second half. Dowdney and Ronald Ross. Dowdney had missed badly on a couple of three-point attempts, but a huge three there brings the Raiders back to within 4 after A&M had a 7-point lead.
We're going to have a chance to see Nathan Dowdney knock down his second tray of the game, his 14th point of the contest. What'd you say he was averaging on the year, partner? Not very many. I think he's only averaging about
2.1 points
per game. So what a game for the sophomore from
Rockwall, Texas.
Right outside of Big D.
It's a high for Dowdney. His previous season high was 10 points. He's got 14 in this game.
Well, we said watch the turnovers for the Aggies here in the waning minutes. 1:42 to go. They did have a turnover on their last possession. Let's see what happens this time.
The backcourt, Bradley Jackson. Guarded by Dowdney. Run some clock. Penetration. Dish off to Bean, who can't finish. Ross has it for Tech.
Well, that was the right play. Bean just didn't get it down.
Out of control, losing it. Missed the shot, and A&M comes up with it, a foul.
Well, Texas A&M, let's watch right here now. Nice penetration by Ronald Ross. Bradley Jackson comes over on the help. He gets the loose ball. Will not be a shooting situation. The Aggies just get it out of bounds with 1:20 to go. Both teams 5 team fouls.
So neither team in the bonus, and Kasib Powell has 5 personal fouls. He is gone. Kasib Powell with just 4 points in this game. 1 from the field and 2 free throws.
Well, those 16 points that he usually averages was made up by Nathan Dowdney coming off the bench.
Tech trailing by 4. Full court pressure. Foul charged to Tomacek. Tomas Ress will go to the line. They check that, they'll play it in from out of bounds. It's just a 16 foul.
Don't go there. It'll number 7 now. Bob Knight sorting his troops.
Now the next foul, and it will go to the line.
Texas A&M has to make sure they have good free throw shooters on the floor. They have to meet the ball in this situation. On the throw in from out of bounds. Come meet it tough.
And timeout called by the Aggies. Bernard King could not find anyone to inbound the ball.
Well, it's hard to get open, Bill, against Texas Tech. As good as they are, as fundamental as they sound, as play defensively. Texas A&M had no screen that time to free anybody up. All they did was break straight to the basketball. That won't get it done against this Red Raider defense.
Well, the Aggies, who raced to a huge early lead on Tech, only to see the Red Raiders come back, now trying to hold on in the final 2 minutes of this game and keep Bob Knight from his 800th career win. Texas A&M tries to go to 3-3 on the season, and Antoine Wright has been a shooting star for Texas A&M in the second half of this game with 3 three-pointers. But as it always seems to occur in tight ball games in the final minute or so, it may just come down to free throws for A&M trying to knock them down. 1:18 to play. King gets it to Jackson, now into the front court. And Ross comes up with a steal.
That's 2 turnovers in a row for Bradley Jackson, the point guard.
Emmett leaves it short. Josh Washington, the freshman. And a chance at a three-point play.
This all started because Aggie point guard Bradley Jackson did not take care of it. Josh Washington, the freshman from Lubbock, Monterey, powering his way between the white-shirted Aggies. Texas Tech continuing to kill the Texas Aggies on the offensive glass. Make it a one-point game if he knocks it down with 1 minute to go.
Cannot. And a foul call. They roll against Tomacek. Aggies will go to the other end. Tomacek pleads his case.
Yeah, and he was way out front there on the block out. Very unusual for that situation to occur on the free throw.
Tomacek.
Tomas Rest, partner, going to the line, a 72% free throw shooter for the Aggies. He's hit 13 out of 18 on the year. Let's see how he does with pressure time. The Italian Stallion manages the pressure well on the first attempt.
Rest has had to battle through a lot in his time at Texas A&M. Had a medical redshirt year his sophomore season. Battled a staph infection. It was termed a life-threatening illness. Lost a lot of weight. He's come back and hits 2 clutch free throws here for a 4-point lead for A&M. Less than a minute to play.
Keith Bean back in for the Aggies now for defensive rebounding purposes. And Texas Tech continuing to do the job on the offensive boards.
Ross guarded by Jackson. The freshman, Josh Washington.
The Texas A&M has 16 fouls.
The battle, it's a scrum, and it's Texas Tech's basketball.
Well, I was going to mention before the scrum started on the floor, Aggies have 16 fouls, so the next one will result in an automatic Texas Tech trip to the floor. Doudney missing badly on the outside shot. Keith Bean getting the swat.
There were 4 players on the floor right there. Texas Tech with a timeout here to play it in under their basket, down by 4 with 42 seconds left in this game.
This in mind, Texas Tech's the 3rd leading scoring team in the Big 12, averaging 76 points per game. Texas A&M has held them to 58 with 42 seconds remaining here this afternoon. Aggies playing one of their better defensive games. Obviously, Texas Tech not as sharp offensively as normal, as they're high in the conference ratings in field goal percentage accuracy.
Aggies have had some success this year in close ball games. Games decided by 5 points or less. They have a winning record. Had some big non-conference wins, tight battles. They're tested here. They try to come away with a win, leading by 4.
Watch some great screens to be set here by Texas Tech on this out-of-bounds situation. Nobody screens better than Tech.
Ronald Ross. Way long. A foul called in the backcourt. Been a lot of three-point attempts that have not drawn iron tonight.
Well, who was the man with the defensive board for the Aggies? None other than Bernard King, the guy that does it all for Texas A&M. Has 18 points for the contest. Came in needing 41 to become the all-time leading scorer in Big 12 basketball history.
.23 away from Marcus Beiser's record.
Well, he's hitting right at 74% coming into today's contest.
Can't get it to fall. Josh Washington comes up with the rebound. Less than 30 seconds left. Washington misses. Emmett battles for the rebound. It is cool.
Jump ball, I believe, will go to Texas A&M. Looks like a heavyweight boxing match over there. Watch under the bucket as the Aggies and the Raiders struggle right here. Bradley Jackson, the small little point guard for Texas A&M, fighting for his life in the paint.
15.4 seconds left.
Texas Tech face guarding Andre Emmett back for Texas Tech in case A&M breaks somebody long.
Aggies getting Garcia Morales on the court. Kevin Turner as well. And Kevin Turner is the man who is fouled. Kevin Turner shoots better than 80% from the line, 83% on the year.
Hasn't had many attempts though, partner, only 10 out of 12, but he's got that pure shot. Got the perfect form as we see Coach Bob Knight.
He was an 88% free throw shooter last year at Fullerton Junior College. So he's one of the best Aggies to put on the line if history serves. 13.5 seconds left. Some big free throws for Turner here.
Okay.
And we want to welcome those of you watching on ESPN2. Bill Jones and Jim Haller. As Texas Tech battles Texas A&M, the Aggies trying to keep Bob Knight from his 800th career win. Kevin Turner makes it a 6-point game. It's 64-58 Aggies. It's been a long road to 799 wins for Bob Knight. And still a hill to climb here. Down by 6 in the closing seconds.
In front of the biggest crowd in Texas Aggie basketball history, trying to hold on to one of their biggest wins.
And a foul on the floor as Josh Washington, the freshman out of Lubbock, Monterey, drives.
Well, that's the last thing that Texas A&M wanted to do. Junior Jesse King right there, stopping the clock. Don't want to foul in that situation with 9 seconds remaining. The Aggies up by 6.
Well, this is a Texas A&M team that had a 25-9 lead in the first half. Bob Knight's Red Raiders came back. A big scoring splurge to start the second half. Gave the Red Raiders the lead by 4 points at one point. But then Texas A&M came back, and they've been leading throughout the final 10 minutes of this game.
Well, the key to Texas Tech's comeback was the fact that Andre Emmett, the leading scorer in the Big 12 Conference, only had 4 at halftime, but got the Red Raiders' first 9 points in the second half, enabling Texas Tech to take their first lead of the game. In a tough situation right now, down 6 with 9.6 ticks left.
Now the true freshman Josh Washington tries to cut into a 6-point lead.
Well, the spirit of Aggie land definitely trying to help the cause here on the free throw attempt as Coach Melvin Watkins looks on.
Melvin Watkins with 92 career wins. Led North Carolina Charlotte to the NCAA tournament his first 2 years as a head coach, his 5th year at A&M. Washington misses. Tech gets the rebound. Nathan Downey with 6 seconds left. Misses. A&M secures the rebound. Antoine Wright. And the Aggies deny Bob Knight. Bob Knight will have to wait until another night. The Red Raiders will host Nebraska on Wednesday in Lubbock. Texas A&M, a 5-point winner over Texas Tech, Jim.
Well, obviously Texas A&M held on toughly in the latter stages of this ball game. A well-earned victory in front of the biggest crowd in Texas Aggie basketball history.
Aggies improved to 3-3 in Big 12 conference play. A final word from Aggie land in a moment.
Aggie Ultimate